Hey, I've been unmuted this entire time. Good thing I didn't say anything bad. Hello, everybody. My name is Siege, and we're going back into Torment, Tides of Numenera. It's been a bit of time. I think a few months. I've been busy with a lot of things. I haven't really been playing a lot of RPGs. I've been working on like my old Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. I played through the entire trilogy with the intention of making something, and I'm starting to realize that it's taking time. Honestly, the writing is fun, the voicing stuff is fun. It's really the editing. Editing is kind of fun too, but it's also it takes a lot more time than the other things. Writing takes a long time too, don't get me wrong. Especially making sure that I get the right voice for the character that I want. And I think I may have accidentally shifted the voice between like what I've already made into a video and what I'm putting together now. But if you want to see that, that's on my main channel, just Siege Fairy, as opposed to Siege Lives or Siege Lives, whatever you want to call this channel. Either one is correct. So I've been focusing on Baldur's Gate 3, that kind of project that I'm working on. Torment, Tides of Numenera is going to be hopefully the next iteration of that. I don't know. I'll play through the game and see if it really lends itself to doing the same kind of like journal entry, diary entry kind of thing. And if it doesn't, then oh well, I still have fun playing a game, right? More importantly, the thing that's really lending me to doing this now is I finally figured out how to use one more feature of OBS, which is the app volume. So right now, what I've been doing ever since I started using OBS like 4 years ago has just been desktop capture. So weird things can happen where if I have WhatsApp or something, have a notification, that'll ping in and that's heard on stream. But also, I listen to a lot of ASMR constantly. It just helps my mind kind of calm down and focus a little bit more. And it's really hard to do that when you're streaming and doing desktop capture, because you'll hear whatever I'm listening to. But now you don't have to worry about that because we're just doing game capture. So I can listen to that little tiny tippies and tappies in the background, and that won't bleed into my stream if everything is going great. I can make it bleed into my stream, but I don't want that to happen. So we're gonna continue. It's been a bit. I think I have a pretty good memory of everything. If I really cared, I would have just rewatched my previous streams. Also of note, hopefully this isn't going to be a problem. I did a few tests beforehand earlier today. By earlier today, I mean like 5 minutes ago, so hopefully I've done my due diligence. But I did start up a new Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough last week, and I'm going to have to redo that because the difficulty wasn't what I thought I set it at. I had to do custom difficulty because I want to do honor mode, but not honor mode. I want to do the honor mode rules and difficulty, but because I'm doing something for a friend, kind of, I don't want it to be full-on honor mode, just one save. I don't want to play that kind of on-the-line kind of thing. Not that I ever throw, like, matches or anything. I just want to see the story all the way through with what I'm planning on doing. And, yeah, so I did custom difficulty. And from what I can tell, I have the honor mode rule set. So certain things in honor mode rules that are just a little bit more true to what D&D 5e is compared to tactician mode, which is what I played before, are set. Some things don't get reset, like the little mind flayer heal things that you see a few parts in the game. In tactician modes, those got reset, so you could heal as if you had a full rest, go do some stuff, come back, heal as if you had a full rest again. Those don't get reset. That's probably the biggest defining feature that I saw in the rule set. But the enemies were not, like, they were, if anything, normal mode. I think they were easier than Tactician. Because of the very first intro, like, past the prologue, where you end up running into some intellect devourers. In Tactician mode, there were 3 full health intellect devourers. In this custom difficulty mode, there were 2 that were pre-damaged. So they weren't even 2 full health intellect devourers. They were 2 non-full health intellect devourers, which I think is kind of a normal mode. So I think I had this weird mix of normal mode enemies, like settings, combined with honor mode difficulty, and I need to recreate that. Plus I know what kind of character I want to play a little bit more. That's something I had going on with my Dirge character, was like the way they started out, and then after a few hours, once I really understood what I wanted to do with the character, that kind of shifted a bit. But also, I did this with my Dark Urge character. I played like 4 hours, and then I remade the entire character and restarted. So maybe that's how I play Baldur's Gate. But that's all beside the point, because we're doing Torment, Tides of Numenera. And I think when I did a little bit of a look up as to who made this. This is In Exile. They've made a lot of other games in the past, and I think the thing with In Exile is they were actually, a lot of the team responsible for this is also responsible for the original Planescape Torment. That being said, I started Planescape Torment, but I only did like maybe 30 minutes of it. So it's another game, especially now that they have the Enhanced Edition that I kind of want to play with. So I'll see what we have. But as a reminder of everything, I'm gonna mispronounce everyone's name. I'm sorry about that. Just gotta mess with a few things. No. Make sure OBS is up on top. Beautiful.
All right.
Okay, so we have the last cast off, which is me. We have Alajern. He's kind of a grumpy dude. I think he works or worked with, yeah, he worked with, what is this place? It's like the religion of the light or something like that. He was a priest with an Aeon priest. He was an Aeon priest, and he left for whatever reason, differences in philosophy or whatever. And then there's Ren. Ren is a little girl. I think she's like 13, 14, something like that. She has a rock that she says is a god, and I rescued her from some bounty hunters that were trying to find her. So that's it. My character, if I remember correctly... Okay, so I'm skilled at machinery right now. I just need to remember everything. So I have my my ciphers here. I have a rapier and a shield. And I think I'm playing like a clever... Yeah, I'm playing a clever jack, so I'm not really a combat-oriented person. I'm just kind of quick-witted. So that's kind of the character that I'm going around with. And we have her. She's a lost child who shapes gods. Wait, what? Shapes gods? Okay. And then Allergen, hardened nano who fights with his demons. So hardened, very like that definitely comes up some. Okay. And then we have a bunch of codex if we want to learn more. So yeah, he was an Aeon priest. He has a bunch of tattoos. And also I am like the cast off of the Changing God. They think that I am the Changing God. What is this legacy? Okay, this is Dominant Tide. So this is one of the main mechanics, I think. I have the TTRPG book that goes along with this game, and the tides are kind of just a vibe. Do we have a quest menu? Okay, let me look at the journal to make sure I'm not missing anything. We have to fix the clock. I think once I fix the clock, I'll actually get a focus, which will be nice. In exchange for their knowledge, they've asked me to discover the identity of the mysterious figures trapped inside the clock. So I need to find something to do that. Okay. This is something that I want to do if I can. There's like 3 mechs down below, like automatons below this. They're right here, down that way. And one of them is the foreman, and he keeps trying to make children, so like baby automatons that have his same kind of sapience and life force. But they all die. And the thing he has come, like the realization he's come to, is that he needs to transfer his life force, whatever's animating him, into them. So basically giving up his life for his children. He wants to do that. He's been around for probably thousands of years. This one. The Stychus is probably hiding someplace out of the way where the people's cliff has found it by now. That, I can't remember exactly what that is. Oh. This is some guy that kind of gives me the creeps, saying that his long-lost love has run away from him, and she's here somewhere. He gave me a quest to find her, and I don't want to. And then there's someone who stole this guy's spaceship, and I need to...
Are you sure you wouldn't like to be dropped off with someone more responsible?
Okay.
I wouldn't let anything bad happen to me, Allegern. I trust you.
Allegern. Okay.
That's what I'm worried about. Let's do it.
Okay. So I have the council tower. We can't go in there. We have the red thicket. There's a guy in here that if I give him a secret, he will give us more information. So he's like a secret vendor, kind of.
Yes.
God, I should not have taken as long of a break from this game as I did. Oh well.
All right.
We'll keep on going. Okay, good.
Yes.
These people also might be looking, the Silver Orphans might be looking for those automatons. I don't really trust them, so I don't want to give them information about those automatons. Let me make sure. I just to refresh my memory. 2 orphans watch you approach. I'm moving. Yeah, tell the orphans about the foreman. Yeah, they're looking for machine intelligences. I'm looking for a purple-haired woman. Have you seen her? They regard you silently with their wide, utterly black eyes. They do not respond. I'll let you know if I find any machine intelligences.
Yes. Now.
Okay. Sylph was weird.
Yeah, that's something I could do.
Okay, so there's this area that I haven't gone to.
Fine.
Interesting. What does this do? The scrawny old man practically rattles inside dull and dented armor that was clearly made for someone bigger than him. Nonetheless, his eyes burn with a bottomless fire, and his smile, as fierce as it is genuine, flashes beneath his graying thicket of a beard. Another night, he bellows, clapping your shoulders with his gauntleted hands. You barely keep your feet. The man is stronger than he looks. Another hero in search of great adventure. You stand before the wandering knight, Quiano del Tobasso. What brings you to the summit of Mount Ithiador? Why do you call this Mount Ithiador? It's a city, not a mountain. A city, he says, his sweat-beaded brow drawing together. Your senses must have deserted you in the ascent. The heat has baked you in your armor. He lays a gentle hand on your shoulder, turning you to the horizon. Do not allow delirium to blind you to your accomplishments, good knight. You have scaled the very heights of Mount Ithiador, the tooth of the world beast. Adventure lies in every shadow below us. Every sparkle of light is a quest ready for the taking. What brings you up here? Do you know, he says, that I am not quite sure. My memory is not what it was. I recall kneeling before my family's armor in our estates some time ago. He blinks slowly. Perhaps I was weeping. He smashes his gauntlet against his chest, leaving a sizable dent. I can't recall, and it doesn't matter, for then I had a thunderous roar and beheld a great beast in the skies. I donned my armor and gave chase. What kind of beast was it? It defied description, he declares, and so I shall describe it to defy impossibility itself. 13 legs, 6 jaws, 1,000 eyes aglitter with malice and flame, scales the color of clouds. Alright, go on. The horrible beast leered down at me, promising destruction. I promised it death, and it fled across the sky. I followed, darting between the trees. He pauses, frowning. And I don't recall much after that. I remember walking, having various adventures along the way, of course. But I cannot quite recall why I came here. Ah! He says, raising a finger. Of course! I must have had the frankly brilliant notion of scaling this lonely mountain to better spot the beast from afar. He shakes his head, his wispy beard waggling. Alas, I have seen nothing so far. That was an amazing story, thanks. You are most welcome, he says, patting your hand fondly. It is so good to share my tales with fellow knights. Everyone else raises such peculiar doubts. Farewell. He feels very much like a, God, I forgot the name.
Of course.
I remember Sancho Panza, which is his, like, companion, but I can't remember, Don Quixote. He feels very much like a Don Quixote kind of character. This craft is capable of carrying one person to at most. The interior is richly appointed with satin pillows, and the air feels cooler than
Let's go,
inside.
Al. You and me.
Okay. So, based on what I got, this guy, Tiber, no, not Tiber, that's one of the companions that I think. Master Renio here, I think he's the owner of this airship. No, he has another airship that got stolen. But I think I can convince him to fly us out of this city.
Your tattoos are...
I really don't care what your imaginary friend says.
right. Sorry.
Well done, Aligern.
Wow. Top of plateau, you can just make out the top of a small dome of scintillating blue energy.
Let's go, Al. You and me.
I'm curious if I need to go in there. If there's a way that I can
Learning begets doing.
go in there.
Or is it the other way?
Go.
Oh, maybe.
Yes.
I think I need to go into this cave. If I go into this cave, I might be able to get to this blue energy thing. So that's my next goal. I still need to find some pieces to fix the clock.
Yes.
And this is where I found Ren, is right here.
On my way.
Dilapidated structure has been converted into cheap boarding house. Inside, people sprawl out. Okay.
Of course.
Her hands cradle her flushed temples like a crown and her eyes are closed. Still, she manages a humorless smile as you approach. Good, you're back. Talk loud, it eases the pain. I'm sorry, but I want to hear about the woman in your head. No, every time I think about her, she inches closer to me, pulls on my arm. Stop thinking about her, please. Can I look at that shining ball of yours again? Alright, she says, dully, grimacing. Why is this file so important to you again? It's not that it's important, she says, frowning. I just feel better holding it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I could presumably trick her into giving it to me, but that sounds, shitty.
Sure, it's safe.
Okay, maybe if I go this way. Let's see who this is. Hello, friend. A smiling, dark-haired woman greets you standing behind a table of trinkets. Her eyes are drawn to the three small rodents that lazily orbit her head in three floating balls. They take turns hovering just out of reach of the half-mechanical, half-organic cat perched on the woman's shoulder. A smile disappears from her face as a small tremor runs through the ground beneath your feet. That's the 7th time today. She glances nervously at the remnants of the structure next door. When that one fell, I heard them screaming, shrieking like the wind was tearing at their bones. You feel the walls of her home shudder beneath your feet and the roof settles at an angle slightly more canted than it was before. That is dangerous. She idly turns a couple of the curiosities on her table so the light catches on the various planks and materials. The smile returns to her face. Come, tell me, which of my treasures speaks to you? Let me see what you have for sale. Okay. All these are just healing stuff from pools. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't have a lot of shins. How many shins do I have? 169? Okay. This facade is all that remains of a house. The rest is collapsed into the sea below, hundreds of meters below. Okay. Continue rise and fall of the pistons of this device suggests a massive mechanical effort. Structural similarities with pipes in the area hint at them being part of the same machine. Once old layer of dust cakes a sign which reads Score of the Wise, Scholar of the
Yes.
Iron One. Judging by the tile, shingles, and bricks that are piled here, these are the remains of collapsed buildings, carefully pushed out of sight. As you regard this girl, you are struck by the spark of recognition, though they hardly look the same. Something about her reminds you of the ghost you encountered in the Fit Eye. The girl stands outside a crumbling old house playing the flute. She wears a simple dress and her golden hair falls past her shoulders. The melody she plays is gentle and soft, but it somehow carries to every corner of the street. As you approach, she stops playing and smiles at you with large green eyes. Shins for a song, ma'am. How much? It's 8 shins for a sad song, a 12 for a happy one. Here's 8. Play me a sad song. Thank you, ma'am. This one'll break your heart.
That's the stuff.
Oh, I wonder what I got. Girl lowers her flute and looks at me. Do you want me to play another? Can I ask you some questions? Alright. Do you know who lived in the house next door, the one with the sign? A lady named Scora. She was a nano-sorceress, but a nice one. She has to look at all the things in her workshop. Well, almost everything. There's a room where she said she kept the Iron Wind. We weren't allowed in that. She frowns. I think maybe something bad happened to her. One day she wasn't there anymore, and she didn't say farewell. What do you know about the Iron Wind? Just that Scora thought it was dangerous. We never saw it, though. She shrugs. Maybe she was just pretending there was something bad in the room. I don't know. Is this your house? Who lives here? Zeb and Nim and I live here, but it's their father's house. He's away. She looks back at the house. We should come back and fix it. I think it's gonna fall down soon. Tell me about Zeb and Nim. And my friends. They miss their dad a lot, but we still have fun. Zeb watches out for us, and I'm teaching him to play the flute. Where did Zeb's father go? So he was gonna go work for someone named Numenera in the Bloom. He's gonna be a god. She purses her lips. He said he would come back every now and then, but he hasn't. I don't know what's happened to him. Oh, there's some guys over there called Numenera's goons. Tell me about yourself. I was from outside the city, but I've been here with Zeb and Nim since before the dad went away, so now I'm from here. Remind me of someone I met in the Fifth Eye. Her eyes narrow suspiciously. People say that to me sometimes. Like I'm one of those girls who are becoming somebody else, but I'm not. At least not anymore. Not anymore? What do you mean? When I was younger, I used to feel like there was another person who was always nearby, just out of sight. Sometimes she'd even slip into my mind and I'd hear her voice. She glances away. I think I was supposed to become her. Her smile flashes then as she looks back at you. But I wouldn't. Every night in my dreams we fought, and every night I won. After a while, she got weaker and weaker until I couldn't hear her voice at all. Now she's gone, and I've never heard from her again. Do you know anything more about her? No, and I don't want to. I don't think we had much in common. Maybe that's why I can fight her off and the other girls can't. She shivers. I'm just glad she's gone. Okay. Okay. Let's talk to Zeb, because it's Zeb's dad that went missing. Boy in rags holds out a hand as you pass. He was far too gaunt for his age. His knuckles stand out on his fingers like knots on a twig. Any shins for a family in need? Thank you, ma'am. Good fortune to you. Tell me about your family. He ducks his head. Yes, ma'am, there's four of us, counting my father, but he's gone to the Bloom and we don't know when he'll be back. I'm Zeb, and points to the little girl kicking a rock in the circle and an older girl who's playing a flute. You notice that they look considerably more well-fed than Zeb. It's Nim, my little sister. The girl with the flute is Avina. She's not actually our sister, but she's still family, and there's no one else. That's it. His eyes glance further down the street and then snap back to you. He smiles nervously. Tell me about your father. What's his name? How long has he been in the Bloom? His name is Zeb too, Zebek Urala. And it's been a year at least. He went to work for Numenera. For a while he sent Shins back, but then they stopped. Haven't heard from him since. He squirms uncomfortable. Bloom's like that though. Sometimes it doesn't let anything out. I figure he's just wait until it opens up again. What do you know about the Numenera? She's a boss in the Bloom. Mayor or something. My dad works for her. He's one of her guards. Are you sure there are only 4 of you? I saw you looking down the street. This might shut him up. I don't want to do that. Is Nim okay? Life must be hard on her. But he's okay. Doesn't really know anything else. She misses her dad though. His eyes clouds. Never knew our mom, or at least she doesn't miss her. talk to the goons and figure out if we can get more information.
I'm going.
I remember... talking to someone else that might have been Numenera. There's a bunch of people over there. Okay. Oh, there's the... I think that might be the airship stealer.
Ren, I don't feel right about dragging you along with us.
Why? I'm eating better and feel safer now than I ever have in this place.
Oh wait, I want to see what this is. Plus 5% willpower and plus 5% on intellect test. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, there's a Stykus that we were looking for whatever that quest was.
I'm ready.
Okay, so there are F5 is. I'm glad that's still the
That's
quick save button.
best.
Okay, let's see if we can talk to this guy. I just want to refresh my memory on the Stykus, hidden enemy. Rogue Stykus is lurking in the district of Glyph's Edge. Lord Vodkin promises a reward to anyone who finds the creature and tells them where it is. Okay.
Making a note.
Partially hidden in the trash of the dump is a frightened Stykus, though it doesn't look like the other Styka you've seen. Its chitin is weak, soft, its claws are small and malformed. It stares at you from its hiding place and chitters incomprehensibly. Be the rogue Stykus. How did you get here? It weaves its head and flips its claws, then pauses as if waiting for a response. The odor of ozone and stale air surrounds you. When you make no reply in its language, it shakes its head vigorously and says no more. Let's see if we can do this. Try to remember the language of the Styka. A murky memory comes to you, and a Stykus standing over a small device. But what is the device? What is it doing? The memory slips from you, spinning into the mist of amnesia. Stykus watches you warily, as if confused by your actions. Okay, I need title affinity skill. Can you tell me anything about this place? Smell of coal and dust and rotting metal surrounds you, and it takes a moment to realize that the Stykus emit us the scent.
I'm ready.
Wish I could communicate with it. From below you see a ledge jutting out from a cliff. A collapsed tunnel appears to be once used.
Fine.
Is that something you can get out of here?
I'll remember that.
A scrawny boy reaches out to you as you pass. Ma'am! Please, ma'am. I know you saw the Stykus hiding the midden. Please don't tell anybody about it, man. He's not doing anyone any harm.
I'll remember that.
You saw his hands. They're like human hands. He can't dig like the others. It's not him that's bringing down the houses. What is a Stykus to you? We found him, man. My sisters and I, and he's so pitiful, near to starving, near to dying. We've been feeding him ever since. We've got to get him out of there. Neighbors will find him soon, and that'll be the end of him. You feed him power cells? Styka eat electrical energy, and we can't find nearly enough. He's starving. Do you have a plan to help him escape? Oh man, we can't just walk him down the street or that fat little lord will see him. Not to mention the neighbors, and they'd kill him for sure. Okay, I won't tell anyone. Thank you, ma'am. You're a lifesaver, ma'am. If only we could get him to safety. Maybe I can find a way to get him out of here. Could you, ma'am? That'd be wonderful. If you can find the other Styka, maybe they'd help him. I heard that some of them are down the underbelly, but I've never seen them myself. I'll try. Thank you. I had a feeling I could trust you.
All right, Ren. You can do this.
Okay. Okay. see this, Steve. This woman glares at the air above her head, her fingers spreading with a single bead in a long, peculiar chain of them. Her low, angry muttering resolves into words as you get closer. Foolish girl. It doesn't matter what you were. The past is a land populated by wet-eyed netwits. Nay, what matters is what you are, what you be. Who are you speaking to? She blinks at the empty air and her hands still to a metallic, many-faceted bead near the end of the chain. No one you know, she says, scowling at you, but should mayhap. Mother Tamaz knows you, girl. Born falling you were, born in flame, shreds of your smoldering coal steaming through the air. When you stuck down, your bead first went cold, then harder than a mother's hatred. She spits and shakes her head. Scarcely born you are, and already tangled in the past, seeking answers when you should be making your own. You think it's foolish to want answers? Nay, but only a fool seeks them from others. People are glad to tell you what you are, girl. It doesn't mean their answers are worth a pinch of piss. She sighs. You're confused, but that'll change. You'll have your feet under you soon enough. Not all of my children are as lucky. Just want to check something real quick. Okay.
Making a note.
This one, she says, showing you the bead that was speaking to before you arrived. It's carved in the shape of two overlapping spheres. Something's eating her memories, her thoughts, even her name. She calls herself Loss of Self, and she's going mad. Well, that's someone we've met. Her fingers fold onto the bead. She set her back on her feet for me, girl. Do that, and I'll return your call to you. Improved through my odds and stronger than when you lost it. How can I help her? You haven't been listening, girl. Don't help her. Convince her to help herself. I'll do what I can.
Fine.
Let's talk to this dude. I think he stole the airship. The first thing you notice about this wiry young man is the golden haze, the glow surrounding him. It sparkles in his eyes and gives him his easy grin, a warmth that you can feel right down to your gut. He spots you and straightens.
I know what you're thinking. How in the world did you survive that crash, Eratus? The answer is, as it always is, backflips. But hold on. How did you know my name? Never mind. Not important. Of course you know my name. I'm Eratus.
I love this guy. He plants his head on his skinny hips and beams. How did you end up crashing the airship? I'm glad you asked. This is somewhat of an understatement. He looks ecstatic. I was climbing up the cliffs to Caravanserai, and to see how impossible it was when I saw a star falling towards the reef. God, I can't speak fast enough. He raises an earnest finger. I knew right then that finding the star was my destiny. He runs his hand through his curls. But what was I going to do? Climb down? Boring. Already did it the other way. Walk? Walk? Worse. Far worse. No fun at all.
Making a note.
He grins. Then I saw the airship docked over my head. I raced on up, borrowed the ship, and pointed right at the reef. His face falls. I don't know what happened next. Despite my expert piloting, the airship steered itself directly at the cliffs. I had no choice. I landed as fast and hard as safely as possible. Shaking his head, he sighs. I never did find that falling star. At this point, someone else has found it. And it's their destiny now. The star's old news now, anyway. True! Eratus shouts. Wait a minute. That sounds like something I would say if I were me, and I was still me. He waggles his finger at you. I should have known we were kindred spirits from the start. We should travel together. Other Eratus, have adventures. Say yes, don't say no. I'm gonna make a mistake and just say sure. Sure. Join me, Ericus. Of course you do, and I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Onward!
I love this guy. Let's see what he is. He's a glaive, overly impulsive glaive that checks out, who is as heroic as he believes himself to be. Okay, so he has edge. He has 1 edge in might, so he's a little bit good at doing that. He has a great sword, which is fine. He does have 2 cipher limits. Let's look at his character sheet. Opportunist. Instant immediately. Make a basic attack against the first enemy that moves within weapon range. Gain plus 15% on attacks made this way. So it's attack of opportunity that consumes an action. Okay. Practice in armor, so he's good at wearing armor. Unfailing precision. 10% crit success chance on weapon attacks, which is nice, never boring. Plus 20% critical hit chance whenever he attacks a new target. So he has a plus 30% crit chance on brand new targets. Direct approach. All other party members gain 5% smashing, 5% initiative, and 5% melee. Okay. He can't concentrate, checks out, and he's good at melee weapons, endurance, initiative, running, and smashing. Okay. Alright. Huh. Okay. Do we have a hit? Here we do. Rash Glaive, his intellect dimmed by the brilliant glow that surrounds him. Eridus is always ready for adventure, the more dangerous the better. He's overjoyed to have you along to support him. He's an unusually attractive young man with his guiding star is to have as much excitement in life as possible. He doesn't plan, he doesn't do tactics, and he doesn't like thinking things through because really, what has that ever done for anyone anyway? Point him towards a catastrophe and let him go, and if no catastrophe exists, time to create one.
Eridus, you remind me of a storybook.
What a horrible thing to say. What, you think I'm filled with words and endings?
Yes?
Yeah, I do.
Learning begets doing.
Okay, so here's loss of self. Her hands cradle her flesh temples like a crown and her eyes are closed. Still, she manages a humorless smile as you approach. Good, you're back. Talk loud, it eases the pain. Mother Tamaz sent me. I want to help. That grim old sack of bones, she says, trying to smile. I've been able to fool her. I've never been able to fool her. No one can. She grips her head, staring at you from between the bars of her forearms. I've been hearing a woman's voice for a long time. She tells me that everything I know about who I am is wrong, and her words are persuasive. With a sound that's half a chuckle, half sob, she continues. I can't remember my childhood or my family. Last year I forgot my name, but that's not all.
Making a note.
I see people who look like me around the city. They have my face, they speak in my voice, and once I saw a ghost of her in the fifth eye. It was the woman in my head. She had a kind face, but it was sad, like she knew she was going to win, to take over my body, but didn't want to. She clenches her fist. She hasn't won. I'll kill myself first. I can persuade her to kill herself? God, no. How long have you been hearing this voice? 6, 7 years? First it was just a whisper behind my thoughts. Then I started forgetting simple things like where a scarf was. Then one day I woke up and I couldn't remember my mother's face. Her eyelids flutter. I wish I wasn't scared, but I'm terrified. This sounds like maybe an allegory for like Alzheimer's or dementia. I don't know if that's a purpose here. You're not alone. I'll help you, whatever it takes. Thank you, she says. Her smile is fragile, beautiful thing. Tell me about the ghost you saw in the fifth eye. She looked like... No, she was me, but I could see through her to the pipes in the walls. At first, she wouldn't look over. Then she did, and the voice in my head. I couldn't hear words, but it felt like glass breaking, ripping my mind to slivers and shreds. She swallows hard. She was crying. She knew she was hurting me and couldn't stop. She's kind, understand? I hate her for that.
Making a note.
Her voice goes quiet. She's still there in the fifth eye. She's always there. Yeah, that, like, someone that you should hate that's, like, a nice person, that always kind of digs into you a lot. Because it's like, why do I hate this person so much, you know? Why is this person so... Yeah, I get it. Have you ever tried talking to her, reasoning with her? Why? She exclaims, tears of pain glittering at the corner of her eyes. Why should I talk to her when I can hear her right now? Mother Tomas thinks you should handle this on your own, and I do too. I want to talk about your family. Let's see if we can get... I told you, I can't even bring their faces to mind. Just shapes in the sea of that damned woman's words. She clenches her eyes shut. I know you're trying to help, but you don't understand. Her whispers eat at me. They peel me away. How am I supposed to stop her when I don't even know who I am? I'm not missing memories. I don't have memories. Hasn't anyone else tried to help you remember your past? I don't know, she says. Maybe. Everything keeps fading. I'll eventually forget you too. There's nothing you can say that I haven't already tried, she adds. Her mouth trembles. She won't stop talking. She'll never leave. Someone must know who you are.
Making a note.
Yes, but either they haven't come looking or they haven't found me. She massages her forehead with the heel of her hand. I'm not an idiot. I thought about asking in Government Square. The council is supposed to have information on everyone. She laughs bitterly, but I've never made it there. Every time I try, I get lost, or I forget where I'm going. It's hopeless. I'll be back.
Done.
Interesting.
On it.
Okay, so we can stop by the airship pilot on the way back and tell him where his airship is.
Go. Let's
That
go.
is, it's broken. My vessel will remain grounded until the thief responsible for stealing my other airship has made me whole.
Making a note.
Breaks off when he sees Eratus standing near you. Him! That's a thief! Thief? I've never stolen a thing in my life. I have borrowed, certainly, but always with the intention of returning the item to its proper owner, though I must admit that I haven't always entirely successful. I demand compensation. My vessel, my source of livelihood, snatched by this vagrant. He stares hard at the oblivious glaive. I require justice. I will take it in the form of service. Let's be blunt. Eratus can't be held responsible for his actions. I mean, look at him. We do have 5%. Failure. He does so. Eratus is staring suspiciously at a passing mote of dust as though it intends to ambush him. No, he may be. Master Renier lowers his voice to whisper. A complete scatterwit, but he has caused me grievous damage. Grievous! I demand compensation. Is there any other way we can resolve this? We prefer that the guilty party make amends, but I would accept monetary compensation for the losses. He shakes his head. I doubt the young thief has the money at hand, however.
Making a note.
He pries at the bridge of his nose with ink-smudged fingers. I'd consider bringing the matter of compensation before the council clerk. We've had a number of arguments in the recent past. I doubt he'll help me here. I'll speak with him. Really? He says, his eyebrow climbing. Well, good luck. The gentleman is somewhat difficult to work with. Found the clerk outside the council tower in Government Square. I've already talked to the clerk. God, he has like nothing. Am I level 2?
I think that's best.
You okay, buddy?
Doing it now.
There's the council clerk. Let's talk to Sijin first.
Those tattoos hurt? They look like they probably hurt.
Drone circle, still circle the uniform of the woman's head. She's whispering to one of them as you approach, but she waves it away and nods curtly to you. City business or something else? Who are you? Sijin, Captain Levies. I'm not letting myself, but I command them. Farewell. Can I go in there? The clerk notes your approach as an Anine would note the return of a particularly ravenous bloodfly, annoyance to be addressed and driven off lest matters grow worse. What is it this time? I like to talk about paperwork. Faint sigh is the only acknowledgement you receive. Do you have any records on a woman named Loss of Self? The Loss of Self. One eye glances to see if you're joking. I recall no such name. He snaps his finger and a sort of living codex appears. Each of its pages covered in intricately patterned fur. Pressing its spine, he turns to a page, nods sharply, then returns codex to its portal. As I knew, the census holds no such name. Perhaps it is merely an alias. With the eagerness of one who would prove his system cannot be thwarted, he adds, we'll need another way to find her records. What about a missing person report for someone who looks like Loss of Self? I can describe her to you. Clark listens to your description, then gives a decisive nod, muttering something about checking the onomasticon. He snaps his fingers and a heavy lead-bound tome appears from nowhere, turns to a page, nods again, snaps again, and takes hold of a vellum scroll. As he unrolls it, an involuntary cry escapes from his lips. Impossible! You can see that the scroll is badly damaged by patches of gray-green mold.
Making a note.
Voice quivering with panic, he says, these records are stored in a sealed chamber, housed in niches carved from solid salt. He shakes his head. There's no left. If this is your woman, I can tell you only that she was born in the city and that her family was searching for her. You and your request are forgotten as he begins systematically checking every other scroll in the vault, one snap at a time. None of the others appear damaged, so there seem to be endlessly many to examine. Can you tell me anything else about her? Clark shakes his head. Only that she was born in Sagas Cliffs, and at one time her family filed a report that she was missing. The city has lost all record of this woman, and her identity is a secret indeed. Okay. I'm trying to resolve a legal dispute between two men named Eridus and Renio. Eridus crashed an airship of Renio's. Can you help? Do you think that because I can make a document vanish at the snap of my fingers, I can do the same for a civil suit? He shakes his head with slow condescension. It's not so easy. The only relief the city could provide would be taking over Eridus's liability for the accident through a certificate of indemnity. But I assure you, the council does not take on such liability willy-nilly, nor does it grant its clerk discretion to fritter away the city's money. He stares at you with two lies. Only someone much more important than you or I could persuade the council to do such a thing. Have you such a friend? I've helped a council member named Crispus Horatius find a missing cipher. One minute. Is that? How can I find someone who would help me? Finding the powerful is never difficult. Their glory shines like a beacon over the entire city. Look among the slave families for someone who needs assistance of the sort your kind provides. He smirks. Even the mighty, especially the mighty, understand the principle of a quid pro quo.
I'll remember that.
He shrugs. And your request is denied.
Fine.
Let me see if I know.
I'm going.
Sure.
Okay. Actually, let's go here.
All right.
Eridus, you remind me of a prince. A tiny glowing prince.
Maybe we can talk to, is it El Hinto or can I do it? This large, bald, broad-shouldered man turns to face you. You freeze. It's not his dark cloak or his sledgehammer. It's that beneath his mustache and goatee is so ugly that it scares our mother in a dark alley. Gives you an abrupt nod, and you get the distinct impression that here stands a man who enjoys the boredom of standing guard in the company of his own thoughts. Nothing to say here until you pay El Hinto, he says when it's clear that you aren't moving on. With that, he returns his gaze to the distant sea.
Yeah, that's something I could do.
Where is this going? Okay, underbelly.
Doing the learning. Yes.
All right.
Oh yeah, the Stychus are.
On it.
Oh, here's a Stychus. Maybe we can talk to check it. Chikekt regards you silently and then begins his pantomime. The scent of tunnel grabs, grubs, and sharp metal fills the air. As usual, his chittering makes no sense to you and manages to choke out a few words of truth. What do you want? I found a Stychus in Cliff's Edge. It's hiding in a refuse heap and the humans want to kill it. Can you help? It looks at you for a long moment, almost as if it can't believe what you just heard. He's weak, outcast, not fit self, burden on roommates, should be dead. The odor that rises from the Stychus is dry and musty, the scent of an insect's corpse curled on a windowsill. It's disgusting. Wake or not, it doesn't deserve to die at the hand of a mob. It's your kin. Oh, God.
I'll remember that.
No. Some life is drained. Parasite. Contribute nothing. If Stika save outcast, will starve and die anyway. Pauses. Human kill outcast. Useful for all. Will reward. I found a dead Stikis near here. Can you help? Can you tell me anything about that? Meal tunnel. Broodmate weakened. Could not feed self. Could not feed eggs. Digs tunnel to collapse on self. Not want to burden Stika family. Great head on the creature shakes ponderously. Barely strong enough to collapse tunnel. Failed in life. Too weak perhaps. Why are you digging here? Isar. Shikek raises his great arm. Dig. Draw energy from rock. From friction. Eat electric charge. Store electric charge. Points to spiky growths on his plating. Here, rock good, hard, much electric, best found. Other places, not good.
Why not?
Oh, well, that's not great.
Trust and honesty are our bonds.
Doing it now.
Wait, these people have been around for a while. Maybe I can talk to, like, these dudes. Catch Erdis staring at the sky with a distant look in his eyes. His strangely pale skin is nearly bronze and the gold glows around.
I should climb a building. No, a tower. And jump off the top. Should it be on fire? Yes. Yes and yes.
Are you actually thinking of setting buildings on fire? No, he says, shocked. Not today, anyway. We have things to do. Distant look resurfaces, along with a need so deep it approaches hunger. I'm just planning ahead for if things get... He grimaces as if the word he's trying to say pains him. Boring. Yes, he shudders. I have to be moving. Boring seconds turn into boring minutes, then entire hours where nothing happens. And then you're dead of old age, he says, wiping away tears. But you aren't here to talk about me, he says, then blinks. Or are you? I have some questions about you. I'm not surprised, he says, please. I'm incredibly interested. What do you want to know? Where do you come from? I came out of the West, Erdis declares, his glow intensifying. Traveling day and night to escape the hired killers hounding my every step. It's not what I meant. Where did you come from originally? From the storms of the South. At first, I think I was only an outline in the clouds of dust, but then, Erdis leans forward, palms spread, eyes wide. I emerged, swords in every hand, capes swirling. Should have been there. I don't think you're understanding me. Where were you born? That's a strange question, he says, his glow dimming. Babies aren't interesting. Then he brightens. Literally, of course. You're asking when I realized I was a hero. Yes, that's what I'm asking. He frowns, cocking his head. I don't remember. Maybe I'm supposed to tell you I've always been one. He looks up, nodding. I've always been a hero. What is that glow surrounding you? Glow? He repeats, puzzled. I've never heard the name Eratis before. What does it mean? Names mean things, he says, gaping. I thought they were just there to put words on faces. He frowns. It should mean fast or impossibly handsome, but I really have no idea. Do you know what your name means? He says, turning to your other companions. Travels with idiots, Allegern says, folding his arms. Though in my case, it's less of a meaning and more of a curse. Names can be curses, too? Eridas says, alarmed. I really need to find out where mine comes from, but tell me if you see any idiots, and I'll help you drive them off. Hold on, he says, ripping a much-folded page out of his doublet. This sounds like an exciting quest to set off on someday. He writes furiously, tongue peeking out between his teeth. Discover secret meaning of name. Done! He tucks the page back in his doublet, grinning. Let's talk about something else. How are things between us, Eritas? Great, he declares, throwing his hands in the air. I knew we had the same instincts for adventure. Eritas blinks. I want your opinion on the people we're traveling with. Oh, I like them, he says airily. They keep things from getting too quiet, thoughtful. They get in the way of mirrors, and I appreciate that. He blinks several times. Oh, you want more specific details? Who about? Why don't you like mirrors? I did, he says, blinking. What a strange thing to say. Who doesn't like mirrors? I certainly don't. Wait. He frowns. His golden aura fades until it almost isn't there. I like mirrors, he says finally. I have no problems with them. Let's talk about something else. Okay. We're going to climb up this place. Yeah, go ahead and climb up.
Alright, here I go.
Go.
So we don't really get any information about loss of self, other than someone was looking for her at some point in time.
Let's go.
I imagine an airship is going to be pretty expensive. Has my tide changed? I'm still blue, just not as blue as I was.
Eridas? I'm sorry I called you tiny before.
Well, I'm sorry you're sorry. Are you sad? We should shake that out of you. Oh, there you go. All cured.
Oh, there's a Dingo her cultist.
Yes.
You the rogue Stychus everyone is looking for. As you speak, the gesture in the direction of the square where you met Lord Vuntkin, and Stychus seems to understand. It shrinks back, raising its deformed claws as if to defend itself. It doesn't seem like it would be much of a threat to anyone. It puffs a minuscule amount of vapor from the spiracles on its head.
Of course we can help. Right, Al? Yeah, that's something I could do.
You can talk to Zed again. Does anyone else look back here? Nano sorceress, but she disappeared a while ago. There was a family 2 doors down. We heard them screaming the night. Their house fell into the sea. My sister Nim was friends with their little girl. Let's talk about the family again. Tell me about Avina. Been with us since before Dad left, but she Never said where she was from. Maybe she doesn't know. I'm glad she's here. She notices things. Better look out than I am. She catches a lot of shins with that flute of hers too. Okay, you know what? The only lead that I have about loss of self is that her ghost is in the 5th place, right?
Here comes the Boredom Slayer.
Let's see where this goes.
All right.
I think I'm gonna try and go to the 5th eye again.
You bet.
Okay, we're at the circus again.
On my way.
Maybe this guy might be part of the council. I can't remember. No. The Philithus regards you silently, implacably, still scrutinizing, still seeking. What do you want from me? Philithus ponders silently until Elisa's asks, when you faced Quoro, why did you not step first with your left foot? Ren laughs at the ridiculous question, drawing for an instant the Phyllis gaze. Though its glass face can show no emotion, displeasure somehow radiates from the look, and Ren falls silent. Balance, probably. Philithus accepts your answer in silence, and after a long pause, replies, in his vault, the Cloven One reads from his great book to his disciples. He sleeps and awakens, and has forgotten his place in the grimoire. He begins anew. The book is a part of him. He has no legs, takes no steps. It is his own self from which he reads. It is his own self that is incomplete. It is his own self that binds him in the vault of his own mind. Aligern steps toward the Philithus. Spoke of Dynanukt, the one who sits in the waters between the worlds. You've seen him? The Philithus whirs and rumbles and lowers its head, perhaps in negation, perhaps in acknowledgement. Aligern growls in frustration. I do like the genocide. Let's see if there's anything over here. A jumble of boulders and debris lies at the foot of the surrounding cliffside. The broken remains of ancient devices lie among the fallen stone, while off to one side a metallic canister sticks out of the top of a pile. It appears mostly intact. Examine the canister. Leaning over, you notice the container is hollow, with an opening in the top providing full access to the interior. A quick glance reveals that it is empty, while most of the canister is relatively intact. A small part of its exterior wall has been pried open, exposing delicate mechanisms. Scavenge what you can find. Wait, let me see. 20, 35. Let's have Ren try it. Failure of perception. You attempt to get at more of the device's interior via the panel, but just as the panel comes free, several of the components fall out and disintegrate before your eyes. Nothing much of value remains after that. You recover a few interesting components and a decent amount of shins, so 50 shins. Examine the rocks. Let's see what we see. You notice a slight gleam as the light hits some of the rocks at just the right angle. You lean closer. Tiny mechanical devices are embedded in the rock. Quick search of the rest of the pile reveals that only a small percentage of the rocks are more than they appear. Let's smash the stones. 25, 25, 40, 55. That sounds like we succeeded. You gather up all the stones you can find with machinery close to their surface and set to work. Soon you have a tidy pile of components that should serve as shins. You got a lot of shins. let's go to the fifth eye.
All right.
Wait, is this someone that we can talk to? No.
On it.
Oh, there's a city official.
I'm going.
Here comes the boredom slayer.
Is that what they call me, the boredom slayer?
Try to tame your enthusiasm, will you? We're not
Wait,
playing
here's
a
a
game.
Numenera guard.
A
Maybe
game?
we can talk.
No, I wasn't playing anything.
Back again? What is it now? Do you know someone named Zebek Uruloa? Looks for Numenera. Zebek? Yeah, I served with him in the Bloom. I ain't seen him since the boss lady posted me out here. Couldn't tell you where he is now. What's on the other side of the door? A road. Goes down the side of the cliff toward the Bloom. Nobody gets by unless the boss lady gives a word.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't actually remember how to get to the fifth eye.
Think that's best.
Did I already go in that way? I think I did. I think this is the underbelly, right? Wait, is this the fifth eye?
I'm always.
Yes. Let's try and talk
I am
to
the
the
very
ghostly
soul
woman
of
over
action.
here. The ghostly woman remains exactly as you left her. Listen to the whispers again. Again, the whispers brush against your mind, incomprehensible. Try to draw her attention. Again, in a flash, she is upon you, her fingers dragging into your throat. You know what? Let her strangle me. Her fingers dig deeper. She's not just compressing your trachea, she's tearing your throat out. You choke and cough, drowning on your blood, but she is lashed inside you, and the last thing you see is her rage-twisted face.
Can't die.
Wait, did I really die? Interesting.
Go.
Let's see if we can talk to her. It's the same ghostly woman who strangled you, but the fury is gone from her face, replaced with confusion. She looks around. Her gaze falls on the large machine and lingers there. Finally, she notices you. She steps forward, a hint of trepidation in her eyes. Where are we? Do you know? I think we're in the labyrinth, the construct of my mind. Of your mind? Yet it feels familiar to me. She looks around her again, frowning. But even though it feels familiar, I recognize almost nothing in it. Yes, perhaps it is your mind after all. I do remember one thing. She puts her hands to the sides of her head. I was angry, enraged. She turns on you. I don't know how. But there are women like me born throughout the city, repeatedly, against their will. Why you? Who are you? She shakes her head. I don't know. I can't remember. I know I'm not really here. I'm just a memory, but something is forcing me into existence. Or not me, but people like me.
I'll remember that.
She takes your hand in hers. It's wrong. I don't know how I know, but she looks away, lost in her own thoughts. When she turns back to you, there's more certainty in her voice. Find them. The woman becoming like me, or already like me. Maybe I'll remember more. Maybe we can do something. Look. You follow her finger to a glowing form where before there was nothing. It's a Membra. You found one of them already. The woman created by the engine. Is that loss of self? Yes, it is.
Ready.
The siege, she says, watching the scene in front of you. I remember the siege when the Tabat came to destroy Sagas Coast. That's a long time ago, like 300 years or something. Yeah. Or even longer, I don't know how long. Were you there? After a long, quiet moment, she nods as though coming to a decision. I was there. I remember the screams, the terror. The Tabat came, many of them mounted on their dragoliths, each of them with a stranger, a more terrifying weapon than the one before. Saga should have fallen, like Shuanha and the Ika and 100 villages before us, but it didn't. We fought them off. She shakes her head. What does that have to do with the other women? I don't know. There's more to this story. I need your help to find it. Interesting. This burning building looks like the homes you've seen in Sagas Close, but of a much older style. It's all just a memory, but the heat from the rubble as well as the smell of burning wood and flesh feels very real. Blood-curdling moans can be heard from inside the structure, but there's no way in. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see what this is. The air is warm next to the machine. You feel dizzy whenever you go near it. Oh, is Sigyn one of these too? Interesting. Her eyes grow wide at the scene in front of you. That's me. I remember now. The siege ended. The Tabat were driven back and I was among the survivors, but she places a hand on the surface of the chamber. I didn't exactly survive. One of the Tabat's weapons made me sick somehow, in my mind. My father was an explorer and a tinkerer. He knew something about the Numenera. He put me in there to protect me. Oh, so she was in one of these stasis pods. But the Aeon priests and Sheerjins couldn't help me. No one could. My father kept me in stasis until a cure could be found. She gazes into the distance as though trying to remember something. Are the women the result of some attempted cure? I don't know. Please, we're so close. Keep looking so we can find the answer. Machines make no sound or motion at all.
I'm
like
ready.
the other machines here, they seem to just be a facade. Okay. And then Avina.
On it.
Oh yeah, this is the girl that fought off her ghost. Translucent man appears. He's unfamiliar to you, but he seems to be working on the machine. Ghostly woman watches him, her brow furrowed. I know him. The engine. It's... Is that machine the source of all this? Yes. I don't know how he figured it out, but he knew enough to turn it on. I think he's my father. She tilts her head. The memories of this place must be fuzzy. He doesn't look right, but he feels right. I'm certain it's him. She reaches out for the translucent figure, but her hand goes right through him. She calls out, Father? Father! The man continues his work as though she weren't there. The ghostly woman sags. I'm invisible to him. You! She places a solid hand on your shoulder. Her eyes suddenly lit. He used that machine. The probability engine to recreate me and other women. This machine is but a memory, but the engine exists in the real world. I know it. She looks at the ghostly man. Speak to him. Find out how to turn it off. Then you can do the same in the real world and end this.
Making a note.
Okay. The ghostly woman's father works frantically, turning dials, stripping metal wires, attaching and detaching various pieces within the machine. After each change, he places a hand on the side of the machine, speaks some words, and gestures in the air. He doesn't seem to notice you at all. Can I help you? No, he says, but he doesn't appear to be speaking to you. That's not right. Her hair was softer, thinner, her eyes more like caramel. He speaks to the machine again, swipes through the air rapidly, then sticks his hand inside the engine and rearranges several delicate parts. I'd really like to help. He continues his work, completely oblivious to you. I need to know how to turn the machine off. What? He whirls around, his eyes bright with fury. Turn it off? That would kill her! Kill her! Do you understand? I'm so close to bringing it back. It's just a matter of tuning the machine correctly. His face darkens. I won't shut it down, and you will not force me. Although he makes no signal or gesture, the Tabat soldiers from the other side of the fathom run to his aid. Somehow this ghostly construct's anger has summoned them. Oh, are we gonna have to fight? Leave! The platform rumbles with the power and pain of his cry. Leave me alone! You will not take what's left of my daughter from me. Something's wrong with the machine, though. It's hurting people. He waves you off. Bah! You're guessing. You don't know the side effects any more than I do. But I do know this will bring her back. Now leave, or I'll force you to leave. Alright, I won't force it. Oh, we do have an area map. Okay. I don't think she's gonna help. Speak to my father, we have to know how to shut off these engines. How do I find these women? They're in the real world in Sagas. You may have even met them without realizing it. I only have vague impressions of them. One of them is dead, and yet a piece of her lives. Find that piece. But it doesn't matter. He's here. Figure out how to turn off the machine from him, and we can end this now. You won't tell me how to shut it off without a fight. Maybe if you can find more women, I might be able to remember more, but we don't even know if there are more. She looks at the memory of her father. He's not real. You won't hurt him. If fighting will stop the injustice the engine has caused, maybe that's what must be done.
All right.
Okay, so I've met 3
Go.
women who are all affected by this thing. Am I glad you came out of that door? The thing just showed up. I didn't know what to expect. Do you know who the ghostly woman is in that fathom? He shakes his head. Don't know anything about that one. The way is blocked. It's not surprising, really. It's your mind, not mine. Most likely she's just a lacuna, a construct of your buried memories. Either that, or she's a reflection of someone you met in life. Whoever or whatever she is, she probably isn't real. You're the only one with that distinction. He chuckles to himself. And me, by extension. I found the resonance chamber, but it's broken. Yeah, I saw that. I don't see everything you do out in the world, but I definitely saw that. And to find a way to fix it. How do I go back this time? Portal's still there. I don't see why it wouldn't work twice. If this is my mind, why don't I remember this place? I told you as much as I know. It's your mind, and that means you're in control. Just need to figure out how to unlock its secrets. I don't know, but I think the resonance chamber will do that for us. It'll unite us and make us whole again. Okay, well, I'm leaving.
Fine. I'm ready. All right. All right.
Okay, let's see if... I wish I could just stab him in the back here, you know? You have to tell me how to shut down the machine. They come running. Stop her. Keep her away from me. The Tobat warriors growl on a register almost too low to hear, and you feel a subconscious urge from you. You begin to summon reflections of your companions. Sure? No. Let's face him alone. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Let's go. I'm faltering. I'm hurt. I'm going.
Oh shit. I didn't realize it took up my entire action.
I can't die.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna quick load. Okay. Have to tell me how to shut down the machine. Attack. Allow
Ready to
reflections
test
to
this
join.
out.
Okay.
Ow!
Here it is. Cool. Did not actually do all that much damage. Me, I can go.
I'm barely hurting it.
We are barely hurting it. So yeah. So I'll get the loving tattoos, which means as long as I keep attacking,
Missed.
I'll just get better at attacking. She is not looking great. We're just gonna move you back. Oh, we got a flank in there. Did Aladrin die?
Surrounded on all sides. Perfect.
They have me surrounded. I'm barely hurting it. Yes.
Think that's best.
Great.
I can't die. I
Okay.
can't die.
I did die though. All right.
Fine.
I don't think you understand what your deaths do to people.
So my other option is to find more of the women who've been affected by
Yes.
whatever he's doing. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. Sorrow shattered the glass.
Yes.
So I don't think I can actually die in this game.
Ciphers are killing me.
Okay, once I get back, I can give that to someone else.
All right.
Come back to pay life a visit? I knew you would.
Where was it? It was this one. Why can't I give it to someone? Okay, there we go.
Of course we can help. Right, Al?
Most distinguishing feature of this tall, vaguely awkward man is the yellow shirt he wears. He seems desperate to fade back into the scenery. When you notice him, he gives you a faint, uncomfortable grin. Something about him seems off, as if you are flickering the air, strangely two-dimensional. He does not seem to emit a presence at all. Why can't I sense you? Skist. Yellow shirt fades away, and then the skin, muscle, and bone. What remains is vaguely humanoid shimmer. I am Yisk Eren, a trans-dimensional projection from a distant past. This Abikos form. This is not the truth of me. Trapped in this body, but I am not this. What's an Abikos? A ghost, transdimensional. It feeds. I only watch. Watch and learn. Can you affect this reality? Only words. The ghostly hand passed through you. Nothing touches. Only ideas. No physical energy conveyed. How did you get to this place in particular? When casting through time, saw light, drawn to civilized thought, admiring psychics. Where are you from? In distant past, epics ago, tuning through time to see future, overshot. It shrugs vaguely. Maybe next visit.
Fine.
Interesting. Wait, maybe we can talk to Almas. For a moment, you are not entirely sure if you look upon a construct or a human. The plastic sheen of the pale man's skin suggests artificiality, but if he is a construct, he is cunningly constructed. So close to the human baseline, the illusion is nearly perfect. Except his head is a trifle too large, his eyes black buttons. Then you realize the truth. He is a visitant, his home many millions of miles distant. Almas, my name. How did you get here? He looks around. Not my time, not my place. Yet when the connection to home broke, a beacon shone. Here, 5 minds drew me, a light in darkness. They were not a light to understand. They were safety, surety. My new home I find. In this place I have clear thought, untarnished. What can you tell me of yourself? He lifts his great head slowly and fixes you with a dolorous gaze. I am Almas. I am the keeper of souls, last of my kind. Only survivor of a civilization that spanned time and space. Now they are gone, their stars black. Reality's winds carry me. He turns his head back toward his drink. What happened to your people? A highest caste of power controlled we minds, ideas for all souls of empire. A great web we wove, shining with power, but other nodes they linked away, until only I remained. His fingers drum on the tabletop. An image of my people I carry, but no place to make it real. Our domain lost. I alone, and paralyzed with indecision and fear. How did your civilization die? A doubt arose. It took seed, took flight. These thoughts connected to our network. These questions spread like disease. Trust, mistrust arose rooted. Nodes decoiled. Without nodes, without control of dreams, the civilization falls, and then they are gone. I alone remain. What was the doubt that destroyed your civilization? I do not know. I do not recall, yet something in his stance suggests otherwise. Perhaps I can help. Tell me of your people. We were gracious autarchs, grinning souls of architecture, children of the stars. Those under our control lived as we bade, controlled them, directed them. We gave them happiness, gave them thoughts, gave them hope, took hope away. A place of relentless peace and prosperity under our rule. Saw we all possibilities, limitless our potential. Tell me the doubt that destroyed your civilization. I know you know. I do. Yes, it was my doubt. Mine. My question. I asked only, what if our way is not the best? What if our people have desires of their own? Wants that we do not give? He places a single hand across his eyes and then slowly slides it away. The others began to see and question. Questions gave way to self-doubt. Self-doubt gave way to self-hate. I wanted only to know what is best. How do we become better? Not to tear us down, but I shone a bright light on behavior, on truth, but our center could not hold under truth. His wet, terrified eyes fixed on yours. Was I to blame? The civilization's end, affixed on me. In dreams, I see their faces, but not their minds. Tell me truly, is the fault mine? I think you were blameless in this. shakes his head. You seek to console. I do not believe. I'm not trying to console you. Your doubt couldn't have taken root if they hadn't already harbored their own doubts. Perhaps. Perhaps this is true. But what good are we if we share the same doubts? Better for us to find a new way. A new world. He pulls his hands apart, and you have a sense of vast network of power contained between them. He raises his hand before his face, and then he crumbles his fist. The energy vanishes. I have severed the last connection, the last hope. They exist still, and must exist without me. Let me be forgotten. No more, he whispers. No more. He drops his head and leaves.
Here we go then.
Interesting.
All right.
Look out below! Above! Sideways!
Okay. Veterans still won't listen to me, she lowers her voice. But my allies in the endless battle need their help. Will you talk to them for me?
Of course.
I do want to talk to the balloon lady. There's just a guy. Nope, it's a guy. The wispy mustache on this pudgy middle-aged man would be almost comical if it weren't for his deep and despairing eyes. They're the eyes of a man who has passed through the gates of alien hells and returned, though not necessarily whole. His eyes, his fingers tightly wrapped around some fine glassware are strong and slim, musician's fingers, or stranglers. Before you open your mouth to speak, he says, "What is that place in your head?" It's a labyrinth. A labyrinth? He raises an eyebrow and leans back in his seat. It's a novel construction. He starts ticking items off his hand. I've seen people construct psychic fortresses, cathedrals, graveyards, hellscapes, and vortices which no life escapes. All dramatic places, all powerful and forbidding. But a labyrinth, well, that's a whole new construction. Speaks to cunning, guile. Do you mind if I take a quick look? Seems like a strange thing to carry and not know anything about. His voice is polished and clean, friendly, but intent. I'd rather you didn't. He laughs. Smart move, keeping strangers out of your mind. We get to know each other. Let me know if you change your mind. Sets his glass down and shakes your hand. I'm Dama, Dama of the Bloom. Pinches the bridge of his nose, his eyes tightly shut, and you feel a gentle and powerful presence surrounding your consciousness. I have a request for you. It might seem strange, but you have an interesting topography to your mind. You might be able to help us. Fifth Eye is home to psychic veterans. We fought an incursion of nightmares, I suppose. Nightmares slithering into this shitty shared dream space, eating minds and leaving us behind. We call them the adversaries. We burned them out and cauterized the wounds, through which they infected our reality. But I can't shake the nagging feeling that one of them survived and waits to strike. I trust my intuition, and now it's telling me to ask for your help. What do you
I'll remember that.
He breathes a sigh of relief. My thanks. I feel the adversary. I know it's here. I know it's close. It's watching us, but it's hiding its presence. Fear it will strike when our guard is down. It may well be in the fifth eye even now. Shrugs helplessly. Sadly, our fifth eye is blind. He jerks a thumb at the bartender. Might be that our foe has blinded us, but might not have shielded itself from you. Look for it and tell me if you find something unusual. What can you tell me about the adversaries? Good question. Better if I show you. He closes his eyes and feel an insistent nudge in your mind. Then your vision goes black, replaced with a nightmare. You see a void, oblivion, a place where black stars hang and shriek with formless rage. Violent lightning arcs through the sky, and you witness enormous masses of pustulant orbs raging against each other. Streams of conscious thought rocket from them, and they scream of need, desire, hatred. Other emotions arise with these, wisps of mental energy that curl like steam. They brush your consciousness with a touch beslimed in the unknowable hungers of an alien mind. These luminous wisps quest through invisible cracks and dimensional walls. New words, unsuspecting minds, brilliant lights enfolded in the adversary's decaying orbits, imprisoned stars winking out forever. They come through the bloom, shining and tenebrous at the same time, he whispers. They offered games, riches, promises for the future. I felt their passage and was afraid, and I hid my mind from their questing touch. I felt them reach for me, and I cowered in my shell. She lays a hand on Dama's shoulder. Those who didn't hide saw the lure, and they were drawn from that unwinnable mental game. Attracted by the light of the adversary's mind, they followed their own dreams into madness. Psychics and normal people alike, the ruin of the city's minds was... She shakes her head. You were wise enough to see beyond the lure and into the danger. You couldn't stand against them yourself, and so you hid. We all did. Not at all. Some stood, they played the game and got cracked like glow globes. I felt them die. Spirits got sucked into the vortex of endless fear. You did the right thing, Dama. I've told you that before. Fine, he replies, waving the words away. You've seen what the adversaries are like now. Inhuman, with no negotiation. Maybe they're communicating with us and we don't understand them, but I tell you, this is their hello. I don't want anything else to do with them. So those of us who survived that initial incursion gathered here, set aside our differences and we fought back, but not without our own losses. What are they? I don't know. What we see isn't the whole picture. We know that. It's an extrusion into our world, just a piece of the creature's psychic material. Maybe it's a conscious unit on its own, maybe it's self-directed, but my deepest fear is that every adversary we've seen is the smallest piece of a singular entity, and that our pushback is drawing its attention ever so slowly towards us. He shivers. If you ever meet one, you'll know why that frightens me so. Oh.
Fine.
I knew you would return. A being named O is here to give you a vision. It says you will be the mother of empires. She stares at you, her mouth opening slightly. Her eyes flicker across the bar, landing on no one in particular. I have not yet received that vision, Anne. A mother? Me? She shakes her head. I'm barren. I will give no life. She pauses. Her hands are shaking. She whispers. I see only a stain when I look at myself. Nothing more. A miasma occludes my vision of myself. Can you tell me about yourself again? I am prescient, though certain matters are occluded to me. I come from the town of Jerboa, abutting the great oasis of Mirajos. I do not foresee a return to my home and my life. Okay. Let's see what the bartender has to say. Bartender is a tall, powerfully built man with nut brown skin and a bushy beard. He radiates strength, confidence, and moves with speed, and when necessary remains almost motionless the rest of the time, with the predator waiting to leap. Yet even when he prepares a drink, he doesn't touch a thing. His brow furrows slightly, and the bottles and glasses lift by themselves. When he sees you, he smiles broadly. Welcome to the Fifth Eye, friend. I'm Theriok. Dama says you're blind. What does that mean? He laughs. I used to be the spotter for this gang. Means I could sense the presence of the adversaries, build and attract the playground for them, draw them after me. Last one I faced, though, his face falls and draws into himself. It burned me out. Put out my eyes. It burned me out. I put out my... Then he's back to normal, smiling as if nothing happened. That's all for now. Come back soon,
Yes.
eh?
It's a plan.
Alright. I want to go over here, but I don't know how. don't want to kill that guy. I need to find more, like, girls that this guy may have been talking to. Maybe we can talk to Loss of Self. I don't know if this will do anything. I don't think it will.
Did you really fall out of the sky?
I didn't fall out of the sky. I plummeted. Gracefully, I might add.
Want to help you deal with the woman in your head? Good, she's getting louder. I want her to be quiet. Okay.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Self is standing where you left her, her eyes clasped tidily. In front of her, she seems lost in thought, the delicate machinery in her head clicking and whirring as she stares in the middle distance. Familiarity almost overwhelms you, replaced by the conviction that you've seen her in some place and somewhere else other than Sag as close as they are now. Try again to remember where you've seen her. Okay, we did it. An image appears in your mind of Self standing demurely beside a richly clothed man who gestures at you impatiently. Sure, she's old, but she can still work. Still got the machine intelligence of hers running along nicely, unlike some others. He says, if you're lonely, she'll keep you company. If you're not, she'll keep quiet, won't you? Turns his piercing gaze on Self, who nods. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal, the man says, leaning forward conspiratorially. I've got a male model out back who's a bit more banged up. I'll do you both for, say, 1,000 shins. He winks at you. Ladies gotta have her options, I understand. Surely I do. He leans back, pleased with himself as the memory starts to fade. So, do we have a deal? Memory fades. Who are you again? I am Sylph, she says. How may I assist you?
Of course.
Let's touch on tranquility. Welcome back, friend. You have been missed. Alright. So I think that's going to be it for now. I'm not entirely sure where I need to go. I have a few things that are options, but I don't want to deal with those right now. I don't think they're the right path forward. So there's probably something else that I need to kind of unlock or something, or stumble upon. But I'm going to go ahead and save it now. We'll save it here. I got Eratus, which is great. And otherwise, I don't think it'll be such a long time for my next thing. I'll try and do this a little bit more regularly. No promises. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully I see you again next time. And if I don't, have a great life. Bye-bye.